Welcome back to Autism at Home, brought to you by us at Early Autism Project Malaysia through our non-profit initiative, The Hope Project. My name is Jochebed Isaacs, and it's so nice to see you again. Welcome back to our series on building tolerance. Now, in the previous lessons, we've talked about the general guidelines for building tolerance. Then we talked about building tolerance to haircutting and nail clipping. Then we talked about helping work through separation anxiety through the I'll Be Back program, and then building tolerance to loud sounds as well as crowds and new places. Well, in this final lesson, it's time to learn about building tolerance to birthdays. Now, birthdays are such a special part of a family's life. Especially as parents, you want to celebrate this milestone in your child's life every year. Some of us have themes, some of us prefer smaller, intimate celebrations, while some invite the whole neighborhood. Whichever is your preference, it is a special celebration. However, when it comes to our kiddos on the spectrum, this can be quite a challenging scenario. We have met children who demonstrate different challenging behaviors, from covering their ears to throwing their head back during the birthday song, hitting others around, lying down on the floor, or some just run away or even refuse to enter the birthday party area. Now remember, we need to put ourselves in the shoes of our child with autism. To us, birthday parties may be fun and exciting, but even as adults, all of us have different personalities. Some of us may be more extroverted, but some of us may be more introverted and cringe at the idea of a party. And so imagine from a child with autism's perspective, he or she may not really know what is happening. And all of a sudden, there may be quite a few demands or increased expectations that we as parents or adults may not realize. For example, there may suddenly be a lot of visual overload with brightly colored decorations, as well as possibly loud party music, not to mention tons of food that present different challenges. To a child with food tolerance issues, they may gag or move away, but to the child that loves food, it may be challenging to restrain from devouring the cake and the buffet table. They may not understand why all this food is out, but they're not able to eat it immediately. Then, not to mention where it just goes to the next level. People start coming in. Children who are loud and noisy, not to mention all their parents wishing loudly happy birthday, hugging you, crowding you, laughing loudly. Then they start party games, and then the grand finale. Everyone crowds around the birthday child and sings loudly in a chorus of voices, "Happy birthday to you." Yep, makes you not really want to have that big birthday after all, right? I feel like some parents out there are even saying, this is exactly why I hate birthdays. Well, maybe you have had some post-birthday trauma yourself. But jokes aside, that may have been a bit dramatic, but I'm just passionate about getting the point across. Let us always remember to see things from our kiddos' perspective. Only then will we be able to break it down and make it really successful. So let's recap again. Our 3 key ABA strategies are to break skills down, pair with reinforcement, and provide sufficient practice. When it comes to birthdays, we need to break down the different components, and the practices need to be getting gradually more and more challenging. In saying that, I do not think that big grand birthdays are for every child on the spectrum. And so as parents, birthdays need to celebrate your child with autism in the way that they enjoy it. Also, as usual, we have preventative, teaching, and reactive strategies. Building a child's tolerance to birthdays is a teaching strategy. So the 3 key ABA strategies are really, really important. The first step again would be to communicate expectations. We usually would use a social story, and a simple video model would help. We can even look through little books on birthdays, or even watch short cartoons where someone is celebrating their birthday. While you are communicating the expectations for the birthday, you're also gradually exposing your kiddo to the idea of birthdays. Now, importantly, While you are doing this, you're also assessing and gauging if there's a specific challenge that your child is facing when it comes to a birthday. In most of our kids, it was the birthday song moment. Usually, it's more the loud chorus of voices as well as being the center of attention, but also in general, the crowd. Next would be to practice. We would recommend starting with the birthday song and blowing the candle. This can again be broken down in a backward chaining method, meaning you sing just the last line of the birthday song. You can use a pretend birthday cake, or we sometimes use a round Play-Doh ball with a candle. For some kiddos, the challenge is actually the candle, either not being able to wait to blow the candle or being afraid of it. If the candle is the issue, start without it first. Then have just one candle, but don't light it up. And then try lighting it up. And then only gradually increase the number of candles. So from there is only one main demand, which is singing one line of the song and learning the expected behavior to sit in front of the cake and then to blow the candle out. We haven't added the crowd, the sounds, the decorations, and the list goes on. What we want to do next is to gradually build up the expectations. So you gradually increase to the full song. You gradually start to bring more and more people in. Then initially just one person sings softly, then a few people sing softly, then a few people sing slightly louder. Well, you get the general idea. Once the birthday cake portion is complete, what you want to do next is to gradually add more and more to the birthday party schedule. Increase demands gradually. For example, a simple birthday visual schedule would include parties already. Wow, look at the decorations, yummy food, cake. Then, hello friends. We would actually break this routine down and teach a child what to do as well. For example, you say hello, then usually your friend would pass them a gift, and then our child places the gifts on a gift table. Coming back to the schedule, we would have found it more successful to have quieter trickle-in activity stations, such as arts and crafts, then games. Keep these really simple and games that your child is successful at playing. Then food, cake, photo, goodbye, presents. Oh, and don't forget to have a few free play visuals as well, just in case your child needs a break or there are changes or something. In fact, you could actually have a change visual as well, just to help prepare your child for potential changes. Now, this is a basic rough schedule. Your family may want to do it totally differently. But what is more important is that you are applying a proactive, preventative approach to setting your child up to be successful. And these steps may also not be relevant to your child who may not struggle with any of these areas. So do apply these according to what your child needs and what works for your family. It's going to be difficult to cover every area of the birthday in this short video, but we hope that you're getting the main idea of how to break the challenge down and make it successful for your child. You may find that your child has no issues with the birthday song and the cake, but really doesn't like the other kids to come into his home and play with all his toys. Or he enjoys playing the games, but only winning and gets extremely upset if he loses. Or it may be that he's not able to wait to open the presents and wants to open it immediately. Actually, let's help troubleshoot some of those scenarios in a short pop quiz.
Pop quiz. Bob is so excited for his birthday party, but his parents are nervous as last year's party was a bit of a disaster. The minute his friends came into his house, Bob started pushing them away. He started blocking the entrance to his room and refused to let his friends touch any of his toys. Some of his friends started to cry and wanted to go home. What could Bob's parents do to help him this year? A. Communicate clearly to Bob that his friends will be coming to his home, his room, and playing with his toys. B. Proactively practice building Bob's tolerance to having friends over to his house and playing with his toys. This could be done with a social story and regular playdates to build his tolerance to this. C. Keeping away Bob's favorite toys, closing his room, keeping the party outside with different birthday activities and crafts that are not part of Bob's toys. All three of the answers above are relevant. As parents, you may not have the opportunity to build up Bob's tolerance yet and may just opt for option C, which still helps set Bob up to be successful and for the children to have a great time. You may even want to just have the party somewhere else. Just remember that eventually you still need to come back to work on Bob's flexibility. Tim loves presents and loves to rip them open and play with them immediately. Since he is an only child, he has been allowed that throughout his life, whether it is during his birthday or Christmas, and especially with his grandparents. At his birthday this year though, he is turning 7 and his parents would prefer if he could just wait till the party was over so that Tim could focus on his friends and not the new presents as well, so there wouldn't be comparison between the children attending on who gave which present. What can Tim's parents do to help him learn this skill? Communicate clearly to Tim through the use of a visual schedule that all his presents will be kept in a bag in a different room and that he will be able to open them after the party. Proactively practice building Tim's ability to wait to open a present in multiple different settings prior to the party. Or communicate to all Tim's friends attending to keep their presents in their parents' car and to only pass it to Tim at the end before they leave, or have a big container outside that they drop it off before coming in to see Tim at the party. Again, all 3 suggestions can be used. Ideally, we would want to build Tim's ability to wait. However, once again, if there is not sufficient time to practice and build this skill up, and we want to set Tim up to be successful and not have an unpleasant situation at the party, option C is a preventative strategy you could use.
Okay, well, it's your turn. Firstly, try to identify what the core challenges are when it comes to birthdays for your child. Here are some possibilities summarized below again. Maybe it's the birthday cake and song component, or even the candle. Could it be the crowd of people? Intolerance to children coming into the home and playing with their toys? Waiting to open the gifts? Wanting to win all the games? Or any other reasons? Next, try to identify what type of birthday would be most successful for your child. Here are some tips for you to help craft a successful birthday. Where would be the most successful location? How many guests would your child be successful with? How long a duration do you think would be most successful? What are the different elements of the party that your child would enjoy? For example, arts and crafts or games, etc. At EAP, we try to host really nice birthdays for our kiddos. We usually have a party corner that our incredible EAP team decorates in our birthday kiddos' favorite theme. Then we have a visual schedule so that the children are all aware. By the way, everyone would have practiced before and also read social stories prior to attending. We usually have a couple of simple activities like craft-based, maybe a game or 2. Then we have snack time with some food. Then of course the birthday cake. And most of the children at our center, they'll make a little handmade card or gift for the birthday boy or girl. And of course, a group photo. Well, that's it for this lesson. Before we end, let us not forget that the challenge your child may face may not be at their own birthday, but maybe it's in attending other people's birthday parties. It may be that your child gets very upset that the attention is on someone else, or may not understand why that person gets all the presents. Just like any skill we teach, we as adults need to observe what is the core challenge and then build a tolerance program that you practice proactively in preparation for the real event. Well, this brings us to the end of our Building Tolerance series, finishing on building tolerance to birthdays. We truly hope that all the lessons in this series, from the general introduction, hair cutting, nail clipping, separation anxiety, tolerating loud sounds, tolerating crowds and new places, as well as birthday parties, have been helpful to you, your child, and family. Thank you so much for watching. Do take care and stay safe. And also do put in the comments below if there is any specific topic you would like us to develop. Autism at Home is brought to you by the Hope Project, which is the non-profit arm of Early Autism Project Malaysia. All the content development, our clinical expertise and time is completely borne by us at EAP, and the production of these videos so far are funded solely through donations and fundraising. If you found these resources helpful and would like to contribute in some way, please do pledge a donation at autismmalaysia.com. Take care, and we will see you soon.